The circle of safety and the chemistry of trust. Globe showing Europe Africa the human need for safety before success.
Before a team can reach greatness, before a business can thrive, before a nation can unite,
people must feel safe. Safety isn't a luxury, it's the foundation of human performance.
You can give someone a title, a paycheck, even a vision. But if they don't feel safe, they'll never give you their heart. That's the truth Simon Sinek discovered while studying high-performing organizations and military units.
He noticed something powerful.
The best teams weren't the ones with the most talent, but the ones with the deepest trust.
When people feel safe inside an organization, Sinek says, they will naturally work together to confront the dangers outside. Let that sink in. When people feel safe inside, they fight harder outside. When they trust their leader, they innovate.
When they feel protected, they become bold.
But when they feel fear, when leaders lead with intimidation instead of inspiration, creativity dies, loyalty fades, and humanity turns into survival. And survival mode never creates greatness. Shield, what is the circle of safety?
Imagine standing around a campfire thousands of years ago.
Outside the light lurk predators, storms, the unknown. Inside the circle, the warmth, the tribe, the trust. That ancient instinct still lives within us. We still seek that circle at work, in our families, in our friendships.
In modern life, the threats have changed. No longer lions or cold nights, but layoffs, gossip, blame, judgment, exclusion. The human brain reacts to those modern dangers the same way it once reacted to predators.
It releases stress hormones, shuts down creativity, and focuses only on survival. A leader's job, therefore, is not to eliminate risk. It's to expand the circle of safety so that people can focus on progress instead of protection. When you create that circle, people stop watching their backs. They start watching each other's. They take risks, share ideas, and admit mistakes because they know they won't be punished for being human. That's how trust begins, not with slogans or policies, but with psychological safety. DNA, the chemistry of leadership. Leadership isn't just emotional, it's biological. Our brains reward good leadership with chemistry. Inside each of us live 4 key chemicals that govern our motivation and connection: endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. Let's explore how great leaders use them, consciously or unconsciously, to build trust and loyalty. High voltage 1. Endorphins, the pain masker. Endorphins are the body's natural painkillers.
They make it possible to push through discomfort, to finish the race, to lift the weight. They give us that rush when we conquer a challenge.
A good leader understands that some pain is growth. They don't shield people from every hardship.
They inspire them to endure it for a greater cause. But they also make sure that pain has purpose, never punishment.
Endorphins without purpose, suffering. Dopamine, the achievement drug.
Every time we achieve a goal, finish a task, close a sale, complete a project, dopamine releases.
It feels good, it's motivating.
That's why checking things off a to-do list feels satisfying.
But here's the danger. Dopamine is addictive. If leaders rely only on targets, metrics, and rewards, they create dopamine junkies.
People chasing short-term wins instead of long-term trust.
Great leaders balance dopamine with connection. They celebrate progress, yes, but they never forget why they're working.
They remind their people that the goal isn't numbers, it's meaning.
Handshake 3.
Serotonin, the leadership chemical. Serotonin is released when we feel valued, respected, or recognized.
It's what flows when a leader says, "I'm proud of you. You matter. We couldn't have done this without you." Serotonin strengthens status and confidence, not in an arrogant way, but in a communal way. It tells our brain, you belong here. That's why genuine recognition is so powerful. When leaders publicly honor their people, everyone benefits. The person recognized feels seen. And the leader earns loyalty because serotonin flows on both sides. In contrast, when leaders steal credit or focus only on themselves, serotonin starves the team.
Respect evaporates, and morale collapses.
Red Heart 4. Oxytocin, the bonding chemical.
Oxytocin is the magic one, the chemical of love, trust, friendship. It's released through human connection, a handshake, a hug, eye contact, kind words. It's why we feel loyalty to those who take care of us.
It's why acts of generosity feel so good. Oxytocin tells the brain, you're safe here. You belong. When leaders consistently act with empathy,
when they choose to protect their people rather than exploit them,
oxytocin surges through the team like light through a dark room. That's the chemistry of a tribe. And that's why the best leaders eat last. Because when you give first, your body rewards you with connection. And connection builds empires that last. Brain science meets soul. Simon Sinek often says, we are social animals. Our survival depends on our ability to cooperate. That's not philosophy, that's biology.
Our brains evolved for connection, not competition.
We're wired to care, not just to win. When leaders forget that, everything breaks. When they remember it, everything heals. Here's the irony. A self-centered leader might achieve short-term results.
But only a selfless leader can build long-term trust.
Think about companies that thrive decade after decade.
They all have something in common, a culture of care.
People there don't wake up afraid, they wake up inspired. Real-world example, the Southwest Way. Consider Southwest Airlines.
For decades, they've been known for having one of the most loyal employee bases in the world. During economic crises when others laid off staff,
Southwest's leaders refused to abandon their people. They believed that if they protected their employees first, those employees would protect the company in return. They were right. The culture of trust they built became their competitive advantage. Their people smiled not because they were told to, but because they wanted to. Customers felt it, the world noticed, and the company thrived. That's the circle of safety in action. Protect your people, and they will protect your mission. Another lesson, the military example. In war zones, medals aren't given for self-interest, they're given for sacrifice. For running toward danger while others run away. For putting another's life above your own.
Sinek once shared a story of a Marine helicopter pilot who risked his life to rescue wounded soldiers.
When asked why he did it, the pilot said simply, because they would have done it for me. That's trust. That's oxytocin in its purest form.
And that's the kind of loyalty you can't buy with bonuses or slogans.
The true price of leadership is the willingness to place others' needs above your own. Simon Sinek. Let that line echo. Every time you choose patience over power, empathy over ego, you expand your circle of safety. And every time you do, the world around you becomes a little stronger. A little kinder. A little more human.
Counterclockwise arrows button from fear to freedom.
Fear is contagious. But so is trust. When leaders lead with fear, the infection spreads.
People hide mistakes, hoard ideas, protect themselves.
But when leaders lead with trust, the opposite happens. Transparency spreads. Collaboration blossoms. People start thinking in terms of we instead of me. The chemistry of trust is self-sustaining.
Once it starts, it feeds itself like a healthy heartbeat running through the body of an organization.
That's the transformation we're aiming for. That's the future of leadership. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, do the people around me feel safe with me? Would they come to me with a problem, or would they hide it? Would they trust me in a storm? Because that's the measure of leadership, not how people act when things are easy, but how they lean on you when everything goes wrong. If you can be that calm in the chaos, that anchor in the storm, you're already leading the way real leaders do. Lightbulb transition T. So far, we've seen what drives trust and connection, the science behind leadership. But knowing it isn't enough. The question is, how do we live it? How do we apply it when the pressure rises? When resources shrink? When ego whispers, take care of yourself first? That's what we'll uncover in the next section. The real test, when leaders put others first. There, we'll dive into the moments. The real test, when leaders put others first. Crossed swords, the moment of truth. Every leader, sooner or later, meets a moment that defines them. It's the moment when comfort ends and character begins. When the easy path whispers, save yourself, and the harder path says, serve others. That's the moment when leaders eat last becomes more than a philosophy. It becomes a decision. Maybe it's the manager who protects their team from blame after a failed project. Maybe it's the captain who stays until the last passenger is safe. Maybe it's a parent who sacrifices sleep, comfort, and rest for the child they love. Different stories. Same truth, leadership is sacrifice. The true price of leadership, Sinek reminds us, is the willingness to place others' needs above your own. That price is high. But the reward? Unbreakable trust. And trust is the currency of every great relationship, every thriving team, every lasting legacy. Compass why it's so hard. Our world doesn't reward patience or humility. It rewards speed, ambition, visibility. We're told to chase titles, build brands, collect followers. So when a leader chooses to slow down and lift others, it almost feels unnatural, like swimming against the current. But remember this, the easy way builds ego, the hard way builds legacy. A self-serving leader might win applause today. A selfless one will earn loyalty for a lifetime. That's why true leaders often walk lonely paths. Because they choose what's right over what's convenient. And when they do, they give the people around them permission to do the same. The CEO who took the blame. In 1982, Johnson & Johnson faced a nightmare. Their product, Tylenol, had been tampered with, 7 people died. Fear spread. The brand's reputation was collapsing. The CEO, James Burke, made a decision that stunned Wall Street. He ordered all Tylenol products, more than 31 million bottles, pulled from shelves. Cost, over $100 million. But Burke didn't hesitate. He said, "Our first responsibility is to the people who use our products." Analysts predicted disaster. Instead, trust skyrocketed. Within a year, Tylenol returned to the market stronger than ever. Burke had done what leaders are supposed to do. Protect the people first, profits second. That's leaders eat last in action. Not theory, but courage under fire. Collision crisis reveals character. Crisis is the mirror that shows who we really are. When everything falls apart, the masks drop. That's when leadership either shines or shatters. Think of the firefighters running into burning towers on September 11th. Think of doctors working 20-hour shifts during a pandemic. Think of a single teacher staying after hours to help a struggling student. These people don't act out of fear or fame. They act out of duty, empathy, and love. And that's the kind of leadership the world needs more of. Not louder voices, but larger hearts. The ripple effect of selflessness. When one person chooses to lead with empathy, it spreads. Just as fear infects, so does compassion. A leader who takes the blame inspires a team that takes ownership. A leader who listens inspires a culture that speaks truth. A leader who serves inspires others to serve. That's how movements begin. Not with slogans, but with sacrifice. Leadership is contagious. And the energy you bring, fear or faith, determines what multiplies around you. So ask yourself, what am I multiplying? Speech balloon, the power of a simple act. Sometimes leadership isn't dramatic. It's small, quiet, invisible. It's the supervisor who notices the silent worker in the corner and says, "I see you. I appreciate you." It's the friend who stays after the meeting to help clean up. It's the teammate who steps back so someone else can shine. Every one of those moments adds a drop of trust into the collective bucket. And when that bucket fills, teams become unstoppable. Because people don't perform for paychecks, they perform for people.
They'll move mountains for a leader who moves with them.
Brain leading when it hurts. Leadership means responsibility, not privilege. It means standing guard when everyone else goes home. It means hearing complaints first and taking credit last.
And yes, it means being misunderstood sometimes.
But remember, the weight you carry as a leader is the trust you've been given. It's heavy because it matters. The goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to be present. To show up even when you're tired, even when it's hard. Because consistency builds safety, and safety builds belief. Forging unity through empathy. Empathy doesn't mean weakness.
It means strength with softness.
It's the ability to look someone in the eyes and say, I understand you. I've been there too.
That single moment of shared humanity can bridge miles of hierarchy.
When people feel understood, they become willing to follow. Because following isn't about obedience, it's about trust. That's what great leaders realize. They don't need to demand respect, they earn it by understanding. And the more they understand, the wider their circle of safety grows. Gear turning vision into action. How do you live Leaders Eat Last every day?
Start with small, consistent choices.
Listen first. Before giving direction, hear the room.
People remember how you made them feel, not how fast you answered.
Protect your team.
When mistakes happen, take the hit publicly, solve privately. Trust grows fastest in moments of protection.
Celebrate quietly. Let others take the spotlight. You'll shine through their success. Lead by example.
Arrive early, stay present, stay humble.
Consistency beats charisma. Serve the mission, not the ego. Ask, what does the team need, instead of, what do I want? These habits may look simple. But practiced daily, they turn ordinary managers into extraordinary leaders. The flight home. Simon Sinek tells of a Marine he met on a long flight home from Afghanistan. When asked what leadership meant to him, the Marine smiled and said, "It means I'm responsible for the men on my left and right. Nothing more, nothing less." Simple. Profound. It's the same philosophy that's kept the Marines strong for generations. In the mess hall, the lowest ranks eat first, the highest eat last. That's not a ritual, it's a reminder. A reminder that leadership is service. That rank means responsibility. That eating last is a symbol of love.
If you lead a team, a family, a group of friends, remember the same principle.
Those you lead eat first.
Feed them with trust, praise, attention, care. Your turn will come later, and it'll taste better because it's earned.
Sunrise the legacy of service. One day, none of us will be remembered for the titles we held. We'll be remembered for the people we lifted. The stories told about us won't be about our success, but about the safety we created for others to succeed. That's the quiet power of leadership. It echoes long after you've left the room. So as you step into your next meeting, your next project, your next challenge, carry this thought with you. The best leaders are the ones who create more leaders, not followers. The world doesn't need more bosses. It needs more protectors, more listeners, more hearts willing to eat last. Shooting star final reflection. Take a deep breath. Picture your circle, your team, your friends, your family. See their faces. Ask yourself, do they feel safe because of me? If the answer is yes, you're leading. If the answer is not yet, then good, because now you know where to begin. Leadership isn't a destination. It's a daily practice. Every morning, you get to choose. Will I lead for myself, or will I lead for others? Choose others. Every time. Because when you put others first, you'll find that you were never last, you were leading all along. Speech balloon closing words, spark of hope. Greatness is not found in the spotlight, but in the shadows where leaders quietly serve. This was part 1 of Leaders Eat Last, the power of putting others first. If this message spoke to your heart, share it, comment below what leadership means to you. And don't forget to subscribe to Spark of Hope for more stories that awaken purpose and light. Until next time, lead with empathy, serve with courage, and remember, true leaders eat last.